Welcome, I'm Ian Bidstrup from Spinal Vet Australia. I'm very excited to be starting a series of short videos for you on saddle fitting and saddle related soreness. I'm a veterinarian who's been treating back pain in horses for over 30 years, and saddles have been a huge part of that approach to getting horses more comfortable, happier, and as a result making riders a lot more happy. So I hope you enjoy this first episode on saddle fitting for horses. We're just going to look at the common areas that horses get sore. This is number one from saddles that grip horses through the wither, and you can see how she tightens her back and drops it. And this is with pretty firm pressure, because we need firm pressure to actually get down to the bone surface, because that's where most of the damage is. It's not at the skin surface like so many would say, let's just examine to see if she's got soreness from the saddle. It's not going to show up at the skin surface. It's deeper down where the pressure comes onto the bone surface, and the muscle at the bone surface gets damaged. So you'll see this spasm happening and a dropping her back. Already she's sort of dropped through this area here, and she's filled through this area more than she should be. What her posture should really be if she was comfortable, good girl, is more up like this. And that's how she should be standing all the time, but she's holding herself in tension in this region because she's uncomfortable in that region. So this is one of the main areas. The other main area is along here, and this is an area we've really got to protect as well as up here from the saddle. We've got to protect this area here too. So we want to check along the side of the spine to see whether she's uncomfortable there, because the multifidus muscle, the small spinal muscles here, are certainly affected by saddles in a lot of cases. The channel of the saddle should be wide enough that it comes out to here and gets away from the immediate vicinity of the multifidus, but it shouldn't be too wide that you lose too much surface area of panel. So here is the optimum area, about 5 centimeters or so from the midline in this horse. The other area that we've got to protect with saddles is not put too much pressure over the angle of the ribs. So the ribs come from the spine sort of further down here, and then come out at this level, and they bend downwards. And at that level, we want to be happy that we're not actually putting pressure on that region, because basically, and there's not much below the skin before you hit bone. So we can't put too much pressure there. Our main padding is right through this region here. That's our main muscle pad that we want to put a saddle on. So we want to optimize that. Saddles traditionally are kept within the rib cage, and we discussed this in the saddle fitting presentation. This is the back of the rib cage here. To find the last rib, come off the hip bone and come forward, and you go through a depression, and then you'll hit the last rib. Then follow it up. That's the back of the rib cage that we're talking about as the boundary for where a saddle should be kept in plain terms. There are situations where that's different, but just keeping it safe, we stay within that boundary. Often in this area here, horses have been, if they tighten through the middle of the back, they drop their thoracic cage downwards, and there's a reciprocal lift in the loin area. As a result, this area here tends to get strained, and we see pain often in that area. And you can see on the listed pain there at the back of the rib. This is not severe at all, but it is there. In some horses, it's really tender through this region at the back of the rib cage. Flies are keen. And that is an area, if you poke a saddle into there, the rear of the panel into that area, then the horse will tend to buck to get away from that pressure, and that is something to be really wary of. If a horse is really strong through the back and holding its back up well, then it's not going to have the saddle poke into that area, and it's going to be much less of a problem. So they're the main areas we've got to protect with the saddle. We want to be within this space again, and we don't want to be too high up in the wither on saddles that are going to be sitting on the horse in a static way all the time.